So what is my thoughts about the fastest electric unicycle in 2021? And yes, we are talking about the Begode Monster Pro that I had the opportunity to ride, and like you could see on the title, definitely is one of the most boring wheels that I tested until today. If you want to know everything about it, stay tuned until the end of the video. Hi everyone, Marcus here from MADpack, and if you love EUCs, PVs and everything that have an E of electricity, this is the place for you. And today we are going to talk about the Gotway or Begode Monster Pro, and thank you very much, Jean, to have come to Milton Keynes to ride with me before you left the country. It was an amazing day and you gave me the opportunity to have my thoughts about this wheel. Just to let you know, in the end I will let you know why I think that persons like Adam from the channel Wrong Way really like that wheel, and I simply hate it. The first moment that I jump on the wheel, or even before that, just looking to the wheel, I didn't like it, the plastics. I really felt that it was another Gotway wheel. Once again, not the best quality on the market. Obviously, if you put side by side to an Inmotion V12, it's like night and day. Those plastics are really poor. But how is it possible that the fastest electric unicycle in 2021 was so boring for me? This starts since the beginning, since the moment that you just jump on the wheel and you start to accelerate. And first beat, you start feeling that the wheel is weak. The motor doesn't have the power to just start to deliver that first reaction. Obviously, when you go to an Inmotion V12, is instantly. And maybe you think, oh, maybe you don't like heavy wheels. And that's not true, because if I think about all the wheels on the market at this point that I tested out, the Begode or Gotway EX was one of the best wheels that I tested out. I love that wheel. When we look to the EX, it's simply an amazing wheel, because the weight that this wheel gives and brings to the table is basically a Sherman with suspension. And obviously 39 kilos is already quite heavy, and just to get that first momentum to accelerate, it takes a while. But also the motor is stronger, because that wheel have like, it's not really powerful the first meters, but straight away, like just a few meters later, you can take like a super power from that wheel. Like you have nitro on beneath your feet. When you get some speed on this wheel, is simply amazing. I don't have any issues to brake in the way that I had to learn to ride it again, because I'm too light for that wheel, but I could manage to really push harder that wheel on the first meters. But since the first moment that you are trying to push that wheel, the Monster Pro, and you feel that is a lack of power, and knowing that Wrong Way had like a cutoff, knowing what happens to Black Cobra, it also doesn't give you that reassurance to start pushing with the wheel. And yeah, this was really upsetting. Besides that, what I felt also, obviously I'm quite small, I'm 5'7", not the biggest guy on the world, but the wheel was also quite painful on my legs, on the interior part. It can be from the pads that I was using in that day and not being set it up in the best place, but in the same time I didn't felt so comfortable. Another thing that makes me simply hate that wheel is too stable. And this is weird, because obviously I love that the wheels get more stable. I said that, for example, with the EXN, I love it so much because it felt like a RS but much more stable. So when we talk about the EX, is like a kid between Sherman and the RS. So this wheel gives you more stability than the RS, so that is what I feel more connected with the Sherman. It gives you much more mileage because of the size of the battery, like the Sherman, but it continued to, even if it's a 32.8 kilos, it continued to be super nimble, and I didn't felt that I missed the RS at all. I love the V12 because it's much more stable than the MSP, and I also done a video talking about why I basically don't use my MSP anymore since I have my Inmotion V12. If you want to check it out, that video. That wheel became so stable that becomes boring, because one of the things that I like the most to do with my wheels is to curve like crazy. And you can't do with that one. And I was managing to do that with the Gotway or Begode EX. But with the Gotway Monster Pro, it's a wheel that just wants to stay straight. And when you curve, it's too slow. It's a good wheel when you go to the road, and that's the point that I start to feel it why Wrong Way likes so much. When I'm riding, I'm basically in these roads like you can see in front of you, that is just passing here. Sometimes the roads are quite narrow, sometimes I have to pass through persons, and even if I go fast, and many times I go at 42 miles per hour on my Inmotion V12, for example, I need a wheel that is nimble. And that wheel is just, if you want to do a lot of miles, straight line, that's the wheel that you're going to like. If you go on the roads with the cars, you are going to like that wheel. But if you go outside of it, you basically will not enjoy the Monster Pro. At least I didn't enjoy it at all. I really hated that wheel. So sorry for all the guys that love the Monster Pro, but definitely was not a wheel for me. Really soon I'll have here also a very big wheel that is the Abrams, that I think is even bigger than the Monster Pro, and I'll be able to see if I like or not. But the first impression is that motor have a lot of torque in the first meters, so that will make that wheel much more nimble. And obviously using my Grisella pads as curving pads like on the top, like I have here, also I think is going to help a lot to control that wheel. But we'll have to wait and see it when I'll have the Abrams at my place to test it out for a long period of time. So definitely, if you are curious to know a little bit more about the Abrams or even the Commanders, because I'm also going to receive the Commander Torque and the Commander High Speed, so also check them out on the channel really soon. Many of you guys was asking me to do this video, so I hope that was helpful. If you want to purchase a heavy wheel, I also have done a video where I teach you guys, or I tell you how is to ride a heavy wheel with 40 kilos. Definitely check that video, because it was very rewarding sensation that I could take out of the Begode EX. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. My name is Marco, this is MADpack. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, smash the thumbs up, do whatever you want, but always with a smile on your face, and I hope to see you in the next one.